Great debaters, Van Jones, David Urban. David, help me with this. How do you call what happened in Puerto Rico a success?
Chris, so look, you're a facts-first guy. You got the board up there, and I know facts matter to you. So let's look at the facts, right? So initially, whether it's 64 or 3,000 deaths, too many, right? It's too many. It's tragic. It's a disaster on a scale that no one should have to endure. But the facts are what the facts are. And you were deriding the president for his comments about Puerto Rico not being prepared. I mean, if you look at it, the Puerto Rican Electric Power Company was in bankruptcy. 70%, this is prior to the storm, 70% of the Puerto Rican population didn't have clean drinking water according to the 1974 Drinking Water Act. 80%, you talked about the president lying and saying that they weren't around. 80,000 Puerto Ricans were without power before Maria hit because of Irma, which had hit right before that. So with the president saying it was an unmitigated success, look, there's no way to say disaster response is going to be a success. It's a disaster. You're responding to it. You're trying to mitigate this disaster. And so what they did, the responders got there as quick as they could. They went 80%. Chris, listen, 80%. I talked to, you want to talk facts first again, Chris?
Yeah.
One of my college roommates was on the ground there and is a Democrat, Chris.
Good for him.
He's a female, a very senior emergency management guy. When you get there, 80% of the telephone poles knocked down, ports closed, airports closed.
So how did they prepare for that?
Chris, they had three. Listen, Chris,
Dave,
three consecutive. No, listen, you're a smart guy.
Dave,
three consecutive
none of this
major
was
hurricanes.
new. What I really wanted to hear from you is the president
Chris.
shouldn't have called it an unsung success.
Chris, I said that, Chris. I said it. I said that at the beginning.
It's just
listen, what the president should have
any
said,
type of insult I can come up with.
What the president should have said, given the circumstances that we faced, it was a huge success.
Right, and that would have been untrue, too. Let me get over to you, Van.
Chris, how's it untrue?
Look, all of this stuff that Dave is saying, people knew. They knew the vulnerabilities. It's a territory of America, okay? It's not some place far away that we only see on TV.
Are you insinuating? You're doing a disservice, Chris, to the brave men and women.
Oh, here we go. Here's the part of you're insulting people if you say that the response stunk. Then that's what I'm doing. Because I was there, and everybody knows that they weren't ready for it, Dave. No, look, don't be cheap about this. We had more death than we've had in a generation. Okay? And it happened because the place was vulnerable. We didn't take care of those vulnerabilities. We didn't preload. And then once it happened, we didn't get there. And then the government went into a denial mode, and that delayed things even worse. And he wound up compromising people on the ground.
Chris,
and
shame on you for ignoring the facts, Chris. You know the facts.
Van, let me bring you in.
You know the facts, Chris.
I do know the facts. Van, please.